Hello, GR player. Hello, Darkwater GM. Hello. Hope all of you are doing well. Alright, so today we're gonna continue with the speedrun. Hope you guys have been enjoying the speedrun so far. Hello, Plumber Phil. Good to see you. Alright. Hello, Frank. Welcome. Hello, Star and Chess. Good to see you in the chat. Alright, we're gonna get started very soon. Just want to give people a little bit of time to get in. So if you're here, don't be shy to say hi before we get started. Hello, Luna. Welcome. Dankjewel. Dankjewel. That's Dutch, indeed. Indeed, yes. Thanks, Plumber Phil, for the follow on cake. Appreciate it. Alright, guys. We're gonna get started. Alright, so before we get started, I think some of you guys know it would have been Diana's 30th birthday today. Obviously, you know, miss him. So we're gonna be continuing the speedrun. The speedrun was already something I was doing before the super dark day, but today we'll continue even more so in honor of him, because that's something he that's the main type of content he was doing and that he was known for. Anyway, so let's get started. All right, so we're playing with white. Okay, so with white we have been playing 1d4, and he goes e6. Now we can go back into 1e4 territory, but since with white we're doing a 1d4 Queen's Gambit speedrun, I'm gonna stick in 1d4. I'm gonna stay in 1d4 territory with the move c4. All right, so he goes d5 and he switches it back into a Queen's Gambit declined. All right, so here the main move is knight to c3, just developing my knight and increasing the pressure on the pawn on d5. Okay, he goes f5, going for a bit of a stonewall setup, but I feel like here this is not very effective because I can simply develop my bishop to a good square. So let's go ahead and do that. I feel like had I played e3, then this would have made more sense. Okay, so he goes knight f6. Let's go pawn to e3. Generally, I'm not too concerned about him taking that pawn early on, but we want to play this move early after we've developed the bishop. So let's see what he's going to do. Hello, Nick. Welcome to the channel. Hello. Okay, so he goes c5, but I feel like here he's just mixing too many systems. All right, so I can take one of these pawns. Let's go knight to f3. Simply develop my knight. Knight b5 also was an option. So he goes here. Now, one move that is really catching my attention is this move knight b5. Because it's really hard for him to stop this. That being said, I wonder if he can take. If I give a check, he might go here. If I take check, it's possible. I could also take. I think I'm going to go ahead and take. I want to play for quick development, so I also want to be able to get this bishop out quickly. Hello, Philidarian. Hello, Quasi. Good to see you. He recaptures with the pawn. Now, if I take, he can just get his bishop out right away. So I'm going to develop my bishop and pin the horse. Knight b5, once again, an interesting move. He takes. Right, but now I think I'm happy to recapture with the knight and put some pressure on the knight on c6. All right. He goes bishop d7. All right, let's castle. Simply continue my development. I don't really like the Scandinavian. I think it's honestly just not a great opening, if I'm being very honest. So maybe, but I like the Accelerated Dragon much more. Like it much better. Now let's move the knight out of the way and hit the pawn on d5, which is quite awkward to defend. Okay, he castles. Now, what do I always tell you guys? I always tell you guys, if there's something you can take, and you don't see why not, then go ahead and take. So that's what we're going to do here. We can simply take this pawn on d5. I don't see why not, so I'm simply going to take. All right, let's see what he's going to do. All right, a6, hitting my bishop. I can take here, which looks pretty good. I also have some other moves, but I don't think that is leading to much. Bishop c4 is a move, but I like this move. Because I have ideas of bishop d6. He can recapture with the knight, but then maybe also check. So let's go ahead and take with check. All right, let's see what he's going to do. He takes with the queen. Okay, let's throw in a check over here. My bishop was under attack after all. Yep, and he goes king to h8. All right, now we have a really nice move with white. Let's see who's paying attention. What can we do with white here? White to play. White to play. What do we do? We can really punish black. What do we play here? Good to see you, Sleazy, in the chat. Indeed, we have to move bishop to d6. Excellent. Hitting the queen and also the rook, which is a nice skewer. Very nice. Great job, everyone. All right, let's see what he's going to do. Yeah, big shout out to everyone who's watching on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. Feel free to... thank you, Luna. Thank you all. Thank you, Isiro. Appreciate that. I saw you saying you bought the course. Really do appreciate that. All right, queen to d8. All right, once again, if there's something we can take and we don't see why not, just go ahead and take it. So let's take the rook. Okay, and he goes knight e5. Is knight e5 a good move here? But if somebody said triple stream, I just thought of something. Knight e5. What do we... Yeah, this is not a good move. We can simply take the horse. So let's go ahead and do so. And now the game is just over. We're up a full rook. No, they're up a rook and a minor piece. Yeah, it's just over. All right, and we win. Okay, great stuff. Great game here. So I don't like this. This is completely fine, but f5 falls flat on its face. You can consider the move f5 if I have played e3. For example, after the move c6, e3. Here f5 is a real move. Followed by knight f6, bishop d6, and this is a line. This is an opening. Hello, Mr. Hype. I'll answer your question in just a second. But f5 not great if I can get my bishop out. Because now I can just go bishop f4, e3, and the computer is already quickly giving white a +1 advantage. e3 here, knight f3, I just take, and bishop e5, and we see black's just having too many problems. So it takes here, and back, knight f3, and d5 just very difficult to defend. He lets me take it, and it's just more or less lost. As you guys can see, it's like +2. So okay, he went a6. I took. He had to take with the knight, but either way, the position is terrible. He took the queen. Now a check. We win more material. I take. He had a recapture, of course, but either way, it's lost. But he took with the queen. He went here, and now it's completely over because we're up a rook and a minor piece. Thanks, Nick, for the prime. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Appreciate that. All right, so we're going to continue. Give me just 1 second. Give me just 1 second before we continue. Want to add something? By the way, have you guys been enjoying the World Cup so far? Let me know what you guys think of the World Cup so far. I asked some of my friends, like, when you guys are watching the World Cup, do you guys have any FOMO? Like, and they're like, no. And I'm like, I have massive FOMO. Or, yeah. Or FOMO, like, it's kind of like, oh, wish I was there, you know? All right, give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, I saw MPL. Thank you, Phil Darian, for the tier 1. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. By the way, we're also now going live on TikTok. So, you know, feel free to check that out as well. All right, so let's continue. Okay, so do next game. Okay, so we're playing with black. Let's see what he's going to do. All right, so he goes pawn to d4. Now, against pawn d4, we have been playing the Slav. Yeah, I really like the World Cup as well. Now, he plays the London. An opening I think many people find very annoying, but you will learn here how to deal with the London. I recommend that whenever you see the move bishop f4, we respond with c5, putting pressure on their center. e3, the typical response, and you follow up c5 with the move knight c6. Hello, those. Okay, you came to the right place. h3, okay. I already have ideas of queen b6, but I'm going to play it solid with the move knight f6. Let's see what he's going to do. All right, knight f3. All right, so now definitely the move queen b6 comes to mind, because we hit a lot of stuff. We hit the pawn on b2, which is generally the Achilles heel of the London. He goes b3. Okay, we can take if we want to, but I'm going to go bishop f5. Let's just develop the bishop to a good square. I mean, I don't know. I could have won a pawn here. Wait, let me point that out real quick. I could have won a pawn here by taking queen b6, but maybe it was knight c3. Okay, so he goes bishop to d3. Pretty typical move. I can trade. He can still recapture with his queen. Nothing wrong with that. I might just go bishop g6 and force him to trade. Or bishop e4, also a move. I kind of like bishop e4. Because, okay, if he takes, I can maybe recapture the pawn or get my knight to the middle. Let's see what he's going to do. He goes knight bd2, but knight bd2, I think a positional mistake. What do you think we should do here? Good question. I mean, it's okay. I just enjoy teaching you guys. All right, so I can take here. He's forced to recapture. I can also take here, because if I take here, he might have this in-between move. So if I take, he can take, I take, he can take, I take, he takes. That does win a pawn. So I think this one is slightly more accurate. Let's go ahead and do that. Thank you for Plumber Phil to subscribing to my Twitch kick. No, wait. Kick channel. Thank you for subscribing to my Kick channel. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Plumber Phil. Thank you so much for the subscription on Kick. All right. What is the... somebody's asking, what was the closest I've ever come to World Cup competitions? Sir, I have competed in 3 World Cups. I've not been close. I have competed in 3 World Cups. But the best I have done in a World Cup was in 2019 when I finished in the top 64. So the people who lost today, that's the furthest I got, the top 64. Bonus question. Okay, question for people in the chat. Does anyone know what year that was? Does anyone know, or I guess people don't know. Maybe Mr. Hype. I don't know if Mr. Hype is here. If the Hype Man is here, he knows for sure. All right. 2019. Yes, 2019. Now, another bonus question. Who did I beat and who did I lose to? Does anyone know? All right, so we can take here, win a pawn. I can also go e6, but he can hang on to it. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with just taking it. So let's go ahead and take it. Mr. Hype. That's the Hype Man. All right, I can trade, but I kind of like this knight because it's blocking the c file potentially. So I'm just going to move it back. I beat Sarge, exactly. Yep. Okay, so he goes d4. Hey, if I'm feeling greedy, and I lost to Grishuk. Heartbreaking match. I was sad about that for quite a while, definitely for a couple months. Yeah, I lost to Grishuk. I mean, Grishuk was still like 2770. Right, so I can take, he goes here, I can maybe take. I can't take, but it feels a little bit risky, and I'm already up a pawn, so I'm going to play it solid. This pawn is already kind of weak. So let's go e6. I like my position. Okay, so let's see what he's going to do. All right. All right, so he goes knight e5. Well, he keeps sacrificing it. I'm just going to take it. Let's take this pawn, hit the bishop. He can take, but then I'll definitely take the bishop, and his knight is running out of good square. So I really like my chance here. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. Doing pretty well here. Okay, he goes queen f3. Queen f3. That is not a good move. Hello, low. I generally recommend you go for a quick d5 and c5. Who am I pulling for in the World Cup next summer? You mean in soccer? You mean in football? Those is those. Queen f3. Well, now he's just hanging a knight. Let's go ahead and take it. Again, if there's stuff you can take and you don't see why not, go ahead and take. I think, by the way, as we move up the rating ladder, this is going to get more and more interesting. But I just really hope that people in their rating range are going to enjoy the games in their specific rating range, you know? Yeah, queen f3, not a good move, yeah. No, he was not losing material. I mean, he could have taken on c6. I think he was losing material anyway. You might be right. But okay, now he makes it way too easy. Bro, what? What? You guys should really not underestimate how much people are still giving away pieces at this level. And once again, if there's something you can take, and you don't see why not, go ahead and take it. Good evening, Mbopi. Let's take here with a check and everything collapses. Hello, Spice. Great to see you in the chat. It's also been good to see that our friend Jospin is doing so well in the tournament. All right, so we win with black. Now, like I said, if you don't know how to deal with the London, what I recommend is that whenever you see the move bishop 4, we are going to respond with the move c5. And then knight c6 to immediately put a little bit of pressure on their center. Now, generally, we're going to follow up with knight f6. After h3, though, I had a serious opportunity, let's say, to take and queen b6. Because I hit this and I did this, hit this, but he has the move knight c3. Developing, hitting this, aiming for knight b5, so that's why I decided not to do it right away. I went here, he goes here, but now queen b6, definitely the move to look out for, hitting this, putting more pressure here. b3, I can take with bishop f5, also fine move. b4, the computer likes this move, and knight bd2, I think a big positional mistake. Now, if I would have taken here right away, he would have had this in-between move, hitting my queen. Of course, I'm hoping for this, which is kind of what happened. I took, he recaptured, and now I take. And now he's got the doubled isolated pawns. So even after e6, by the way, black has a great advantage, because these pawns are terribly weak. And this pawn on d4, the most forward pawn, is easily attackable. I decided to take it right away. I mean, like I said, I could have also played e6. I dropped the knight back, he goes here. Once again, I could have taken, but no need, because here my position is great anyway, and I can try to win this pawn later on. Right, he goes here, I take, and I think now, okay, I don't know if he's losing material. The point is that this is under attack, and this as well, and if he takes, I was going to take here. The knight's in a tough spot, because for example, knight a5, I thought I was going to go queen b4, and this is trapped, because I also defend this. But perhaps g3, but anyway, the position is very bad. I mean, I can go here, take another pawn. Black is definitely winning, but okay, queen f3 really accelerated the end. That gives up a knight, and that gives up a queen, so he resigned. All right, so great stuff. We win a great game with the black pieces, and I hope this gives you guys a great idea how you should tackle the London with black. All right, so let's answer. Okay, Mr. Hype, be nice in the chat. Be nice in the chat. What is the Jocelyn fan club? Here's the thing. I love watching the World Cup. What's really tough, though, is that now I'm in the US. It starts at 3:30 a.m. for me. It's just, I cannot do it. Like, by the time I wake up, all the games are over. Like, maybe if I force myself to wake up early, I can watch one Armageddon game. So it's tough. I'm not going to do the Polish opening speedrun. That sounds like a terrible opening. All right, so great stuff. We win a game with Jospam is gonna be playing Sarana. Very tough match, but you know, Jospam just beat Noterbeck. So if you can beat Noterbeck, you can beat Sarana as well. Let's move on to the next game. All right, so we're playing with white. Let's go 1d4. Yeah, I think MVL got insanely lucky to strike back, no? Because he was down a point in the match. And he had to win with black, and Artemiev was just better with white, but then he started throwing everything. All right, so he goes e6. Now, once again, we can go back into the French, but since this is a 1d4 speedrun, we're going to be going c4. Yeah, MVL had a very tough match, but he managed to win. Artemiev was just too slow. He was just way too slow throughout the entire match. Anyway, so here we continue with knight c3. Like, I've played Artemiev a couple of times. I actually got knocked out by Artemiev in the very first round of the World Cup in 2017. He's very tough. He's very tough cookie, okay? But I also beat him in a Champions Chess Tour match, and I remember playing the Armageddon, and he was just too slow. Like, I got white in the Armageddon, and he had like 7:15, if I recall correctly. So started out with a time advantage of almost 3 minutes. And he never was able to come back. And I just always was up on the clock, had pressure on the board as well. So that is definitely something for him to work on. But anyway, bishop b4, we can take. But I think against this bishop b4 move, a really nice move is the move a3. And by the way, this is an opening I helped Diane prepare for his match against Blue Bomb. This is one of Blue Bomb's online weapons. And we had specifically looked at this line with a3. Obviously, black should take, but he decided to take here. Okay, again, if we can take material, we should take. All right, so we're just off a piece now. Yeah, really confused. He should have just taken here. Yeah, MVL, an e4 player through and through. B5, okay. Once again, if there's something you can take and you don't see why not, go ahead and take it. Thank you very much. C6. Okay. Now, here, I can take, but my knight can get stuck there in the dryer, so I don't really want to do that. I think I'm simply going to move my knight back to safety. I can also go here, by the way, try to pick this up. So, let's go knight c3, though. I'm banking on picking up this pawn with the bishop. But I don't know, knight a3 may be a little bit better, but it doesn't matter. We're up a full piece. Okay, let's go e4, build a big center. This is generally the idea behind the queen's gambit, and now we're aiming to regain this pawn with our bishop. Queen a4 check is a move, but it's not necessarily the best move. Black goes knight c6. I think a3 is a critical test of this line. All right, bishop a6. Okay, so I can take, but I think I'm just going to go knight f3, simply continue my development. Right. Yeah, I could have done it. Okay, so f6, he's stopping knight e5. Perhaps that's his idea. I can go b3 here. Let's go b3. Because I'm hitting this pawn, and then I could get the connect 4. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? Okay. Is he going to fall for the bait? Taking would not be a good idea. Because then I can take here and win another piece. So I think we're going to get another pawn here. For you guys, I'm going to take with the pawn. Just for aesthetic reasons, so we get the connect 4. Yeah, I would call this the accelerated Rogozin. I would call this the accelerated Rogozin. The Rogozin is with the knights on f3. Sorry. With the knights on f3 and f6. But since the knights are not there, I would call this the accelerated Rogozin. Queen b6, good move by him, though. Gotta give him credit there. Because he's hitting this, he's defending this. Alright, I can take. He's probably going to take here, maybe then here. Let's go ahead and do that, because at least now for a moment we get the connect 4. Very pretty. But I think it's simply gonna disappear right now. What's so funny? No, but like, I'm not kidding you. I would call that the accelerated Rogozin. All right, he's hitting the knight. He's hitting this, which this pawn I'm not worried about at all. And I'll explain very soon why. Let's go queen c2, defend the knight. Bishop d2 also, by the way, would have been a nice move, but I like this this as well. Let's see what he's gonna do. Bishop d2, I mean, he would have withdrawn. Okay, bishop takes c4, I think a serious mistake. Because now we're going to take... What do we do in case black recaptures? What do we do here? This, he's trapped with his hand in the cookie jar. He's trapped with his hand in the cookie jar. What do we do here? He's caught. No, what is the saying? He's been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Indeed, we go rook a4, and his queen is simply getting trapped. Good job. Good job, everyone. Excellent. Great job, everyone, in the chat. Great to see everyone paying attention. Appreciate all of you guys. Hello, Thaw. Good to see you in the YouTube chat. Hope you're doing well. No worries, vegan. It's okay. No worries. No sleeping? What do you mean, Stokes? I'm in the US right now, so it's not too late for me. I saw Hammer was commentating until 5 a.m. every night. I don't know how. Thanks, Stokes, for the prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Somebody saying, I'm surprised Peter Lico is doing so well. Peter Lico is a legend. He's a legend. I am not surprised at all. What is this disrespect? And by the way, like, Leco is doing well, but keep in mind, he's not doing crazy well. I mean, he won 2-0. That is really nice. But he defeated someone who is in the same rating range, so nothing too shocking. All right, anyway, so he takes. Okay, let's just recapture. Let's take with the knight, because then I can jump forward. I mean, I can do a Leco impression, but I like Leco too much. He's a nice guy, so I don't want to do it. All right, let's go. Like, he is really nice. He is really nice. Lecco is very nice. All right, let's go here. Did Hikaru stop playing after qualifying? I was a little bit disappointed in Hikaru that he just offered a draw. That being said, the position was equal, and he was also playing. He was playing Praveen, the Grandmaster, who, you know, to his credit, had equalized cleanly after the opening. All right. Okay, so we win the last game, and I don't know. Hikaru's games have been very up and down, so maybe he felt like, oh, let me just take the draw. But okay, I was surprised because he's like 300 points higher rated. He was up half an hour on the clock. That does count for something, even if the position is equal. But anyway, we get the win here with white. Like I said, against the Accelerated Dragon. And like I said, the main move here. See you later. See you later, Albert. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. And Lecco is playing Origin. Okay, that's gonna be a very tough matchup. But good to see Albert in the chat. Best of luck. And I'll see you soon. Alright, so the idea behind the move a3 is to force black to take. Black will recapture, then black's gonna continue with knight f6. And here there are a couple of options. One of them is the move e3. And generally the idea, let's say black castles, is that we're gonna take on d5 and then bring our bishop out of d3. And now the plan is to go knight e2, castles, f3, and prepare the e4 push. Oh wait, knight e2, castles, f3, and then e4. You can go knight g3 as well to facilitate that push. So a tough match for both. But anyway, this is the whole idea of the opening. Now, what that game between Danya and Bluebaum, the game that I helped Danya prepare for, continued with c6, bishop d3, I believe, castles, knight e2, and I believe Bluebaum played e5. So that was that line. And yeah, Danya had some nice preparation here, and he won a crushing game with the white pieces. But yeah, sadly, it was one of the last games that he played in a competitive tournament. I mean, who could have known at the time? But anyway, that is the whole idea behind his opening. You want to take on d5 quickly, follow by bishop d3, knight d2, castles, f3, etc. Hello, Kimchi. Thank you. All right, but he took here. Now he loses the bishop, and it's just game over. He loses the pawn as well. I just draw back. Go here. I win this pawn as well. I set a little trap for him because now he loses the game. He's down a queen, and so it is just a GG. So nice win here with white. Let's move on. All right, we're playing with black. All right, so he goes to e4. Now, what do we do? If we look at my username, we are going to be playing the Sicilian. Let's go c5. Why is Bok a dragon? Now, he goes knight c3. And the nice thing of the Accelerated Dragon is that we can do knight c6 and g6 against almost anything. It's the best response. I kid you not. I'm not even saying that as like a sales tactic. I can even show you guys later with the computer. But knight c6 and g6 is generally the best setup because this bishop has this fully open scope on the diagonal. So he goes a3. I don't really understand the point of that move, but we're just going to stick to our setup with the move g6. Knight f6, by the way, also an option because he might want to do this, and then I have this little trap, but I like g6. Let's just go g6 and bishop g7. I think there he goes, bishop c4, we go bishop g7. He's probably going to go d3. Let's go e6 here. He's probably going to go bishop a2. Okay, he goes bishop f4. He's trying to take advantage of these squares. So d6 here makes a lot of sense to make sure that he cannot put the bishop here. I could perhaps go here. But then bishop d6 seems a little bit annoying because it's hard to get rid of that bishop. So I'm going to go d6. Simply stop this bishop from coming in and saying hello. Okay, so he goes knight b5. He's really eager to slide in. Now, I can go e5 if I want to. I can go knight e5 as well. Let's see. We've got lots of options here. Knight e5 looks pretty decent. Because if I go e5, I open up this diagonal, and I would close the diagonal for my own bishop. So I think I like knight e5 the best. Let's go knight e5. Let's see what he's going to do. The reason, yes, great question in the chat. Knight c6 is a better move, and I explained this in my course as well. If you go g6, white also has the tricky d4, takes, queen takes d4, and then let's say after knight f6, there's bishop e3, knight c6, queen e2. That is a tricky line. That is a tricky line. So I like knight c6 much better here. All right, so he goes c3, but c3 is a bad move. Can anyone tell me why c3 is bad? Let's see who's paying attention in the chat. He created a problem for himself. Indeed, very good, Mr. Hype. We go a6. He cut off the escape route for his knight. He goes d4, creating a little counterattack on my own knight. But now he's only aggravating his problem. So what do we do here with black? What do we do here with black? Let's see who's paying attention. Not a takes b5, Mr. Hype, because then he takes here with a check. My knight's under attack. To be fair, I could save it with knight d7, but he does get some compensation here. Indeed, indeed, we can take the bishop on c4, and this knight is still trapped. Great job, everyone. Great job. Some really good calculation. Good to see everyone participating and paying attention in the chat. And we win as quickly as in 9 moves. All right, so let's dissect this game. So e4, we go c5, knight c3. And we had a great question in the chat by, I forgot who it was, by Sleazy. So Sleazy asked, why not g6, bit of a hyper-accelerated dragon, instead of the move knight c6? But I believe if we go g6, as we see, the evo bar creeps up just a little bit. And this move d4 is tricky, believe me, because takes, knight f6. And besides the usual hyper-accelerated lines here with, let's say, knight f3, white also has this move bishop e3, which is a serious try for an advantage. Knight c6, queen e2, followed by f3, queenside castles. This is not easy at all. This is a very tricky line. All right. So I don't recommend g6. The move I recommend instead is the move knight c6. Yeah, he said that Mooglebound, but I don't know. I mean, if that's how he... Okay, he should not be affected by what people say on the internet. I mean, he played by the rules, so he should not be affected by what people are saying on the internet. But okay, I can imagine, like, if, you know, he's of course very famous in the chess community. People are saying stuff about him all the time. Maybe it's easier, you know. I don't know. Anyway, he goes a3, and the nice thing is, g6 here, I'm looking with the engine, is the best move. Which is, once again, why I really like the Accelerated Dragon. Because you get into this habit of always going for the fianchetto with g6 and bishop g7. Yeah, but no, great question, Sleazy. Really appreciate that. Because great questions in the chat makes the speedrun only makes it better. So, okay, now we go g6, bishop c4, bishop g7, d3. And generally, we want to deal with bishop c4 setups by going for e6, by neutralizing this bishop on the diagonal. Also, we create a really nice square for a knight on e7. I very often see people go knight f6, but that is a slight inaccuracy. Once again, if they go bishop c4, e6 is going to be your go-to follow-up, followed by knight ge7. So he goes here, trying to slide into the d6 square, which is why I played d6 myself. He played knight b5, hitting this, and knight e5, slightly awkward, but the least awkward way to defend that pawn. I mean, I don't want to go bishop f8, for example. I also don't want to go e5, because then I open up this diagonal for that bishop. So, knight e5, a nice response, putting some pressure here, and c3, just a big mistake, because now after a6, his knight is just trapped. So that is just it. He's just losing a full piece. He goes d4, but like I said, that only makes things worse. Because now we take here, this is trapped as well, and so my opponent already resigned. All right, so great job, everyone. We get a nice win, so let's keep going. Even though it's me making the moves, I appreciate the questions from all of you guys in the chat. Okay, so it goes knight f3. Now the great thing is, we can go for like d5, but against knight f3, we can also go for an accelerated dragon setup. With c5, he goes g3 and g6, followed by bishop g7. Okay, let's go bishop g7, castles, and let's go knight c6. Okay, so he goes d3. So he's playing a bit of a reversed King's Indian. Now, what I really like to do here is the move e7, e5. You guys might be thinking, what? You might be like, what? Why would you block your own bishop? Or like, why would you do that, Mr. Bok? But once again, we're clearing up that e7 square for our knight, and we're getting a lot of space in the center. He goes c3, but it's going to be very hard for him to get d4 in. So let's go ahead and castle, and we can really grab the center with d5 here. And I actually don't see what's wrong with that. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go d5. Let's grab a big center with black. He goes knight bd2. Now, a move that I generally like here is the move h6. You might be wondering, like, well, what is the idea behind the move h6? But I generally want to put my bishop on e6, and I don't want to be bothered by the move knight to g5. So he goes queen to c2. Now, let's stick to our plan. Let's go bishop to e6. What do you mean? Oh, the Dutch? I do not like the Dutch. It's very sad that we Dutch people got one of the worst openings of all against 1d4. But I just don't like the opening. Goes knight b3. We always have to pay attention. What is our opponent doing? He's hitting that pawn on c5. So let's go ahead and defend it. Let's go b6. And now we really see our strategy paying off brilliantly. Look at the space we have with black. Indeed, that is a big center for black, as some people are saying in the chat. All right, so let's see what he's gonna do. Doing great here. Great question by Christine Murray in the chat. Do I think Leko can get past Erigaisi? It's gonna be a tough match, but I definitely give the edge to Erigaisi. Maybe Leko can hold on in classical, but I think Erigaisi should also be the favorite in rapid, so I just don't see Leko beating him. I mean, I'm a big Leko fan. He's great, but I mean, obviously, I gotta give the edge to Erigaisi. But I mean, it would be great for Leko. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. He goes a4, perhaps aiming to go a5, but obviously, that doesn't even phase us. Now I'm gonna set a little trap here. Wait a second. There. Okay, I'm gonna set a little trap here. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go queen c7, simply improving my position. He's probably gonna do this, fall right into the cheese, I think. Does Dragon what do you mean? What do you mean random moves? Now he goes d4. But d4 is really odd because all of my pieces are well developed. They're all in good squares. So it feels like he's just not really well prepared for this central expansion. Okay, if I take here, he probably wants to take here. I can take. I can take again, but then he takes. So I think I should take here first. So let's take here. He might get bishop forward with tempo, but that doesn't concern me too much. I can go here. Let's go ahead and take, because once again, if I take, he can take. So let's go ahead and take here first. If he takes, I can take with bishop. He takes. All right, but now let's go ahead and take here, because I hit the knight, and he doesn't have a good way to recapture. He takes with the rook, which is probably the better way. But at the very least, I have bishop 5 winning an exchange. I could throw in c4 as well. He can maybe move the knight back. Bishop 5 is a very easy way to get an advantage. He can maybe take. It's not completely lost or anything. So let's see. I kind of like c4, but I wonder if this isn't... Like, he's gonna lose material. I'm just thinking, what is the best way to take the material? I'm just gonna keep it simple and go bishop 5. Pin the rook to the queen. But like I said, he will get some compensation if he takes here. Alright, because, you know, he's got the bishop pair. But okay. I don't have to take right now because he's in a pin. So let's go rook f8, bring my rook into the game. Let's see what he's going to do. He also does a bishop f4 with a tempo, but okay. Then I'll probably go here. Okay, so he goes bishop f4 as expected. Let's go queen d7. Once again, I want to keep this pin for now. Can always take here later. I don't... Okay, he goes queen d2. A good move, because I cannot take the rook, because then he takes my queen. He's getting out of the pin, so now is absolutely the time to take. Okay, he takes. Now, once again, it's absolutely the time to take, because the rook is no longer pinned or anything. Now we got to think a little bit. If I go knight e5, he might jump in with knight d6. I could take, because if he takes, I could throw in a check here. I can take. But he's got rook e1 at the end, and then I'm pinned, losing material back. And I don't want to entertain the stuff on this diagonal too much. So I think I'm going to keep it simple and just take here. He takes. Now perhaps I can throw a knight d5. I can also take here, which is just a free pawn. I think I'm simply going to take it. Let's take, hitting the rook. I can always drop back. What are you saying in the chat? Okay, he's going here, hitting my bishop. He's also taking this, so let's defend both at the same time. Yep. Yeah, the World Cup is by far my favorite tournament to follow, and indeed, I also miss Diane. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. Christine, yeah, here's the thing, Christine, great question in the chat. The Hyper Accelerated Dragon is basically the same thing as the Accelerated Dragon, just through a different move order. The main advantage is that you avoid the Rosso Limo. That's also, by the way, what I explain in my course. All right, he goes 95, but 95, big mistake, because I can just take. Yeah, I can just take. I can also take here first. I kind of like this even better, because it would force some more traits. But let's just do this. For now, up a full piece. Yes, he takes, but he's losing 2 minor pieces to get the rook. Okay, well, if you're down material, don't trade. Rookie mistake. Don't trade when you're down material. All right, he goes 97, hitting my bishop, but doesn't do much. I think I'm simply gonna... I'll just drop it back. It doesn't matter. He didn't. The math was not mathin'. Exactly. Let him win? No. No. All right. Well, he keeps trading. Rookie mistake. Don't trade when you're down material. All right. In an endgame, it's always a good idea to bring the king. So let's do that. All right. Let's see what he's gonna do. Goes knight c5. Let's go knight c6. Now I can move my king up. Hello, I'm Cora. Good to see you. queen a5? I don't know, but I think castles is just the best move. Let's go here, hit the knight. See what he's gonna do. Who do I miss? It's Diam. It would have been his 30th birthday today. Do I think Diam was toe-to-toe with anyone when it comes to the 4th strongest Blitz and Bullet player? I mean, Diam, of course, he was a fantastic, fantastic player. But he would agree with me as well that he was not, let's say, the 4th best in Blitz and Bullet. In Bullet, though, okay, in Bullet, I would say, okay, let's go, wait, sorry, let me finish that thought in just a second. Let's go here. In Bullet, though, I would say it used to be Hikaru, Faruja, Magnus. Those are definitely the top 3. And then Danya. In Bullet, Danya was definitely number 4. I'd say very close with Bornik. Bornik also definitely up there. Actually, in the last Bullet Chess Championship, I bet almost all of my channel points on Danya beating Bornik. Bornik, I mean, make no mistake, he's an incredible Bullet player. I would just always see Danya beating him. But Danya was just having an off day and Bornik had a great day, so Bornik absolutely crushed him. Alright, let's go here. No, but yeah, like I said, I'd say in Bullet he was definitely number 4, behind Hikaru, Faruja, and Magnus. But in Blitz he was up there, but not number 4. Yeah, I mean, okay, that I saw that he said that as well. Yeah, that he won many Freestyle Fridays, so he was hoping to get an invite at some point. That would be great for Bornik. To be fair, they do have their qualifiers. They do have their qualifiers. But maybe they could have like an extra spot for the qualifiers. Okay, let's go King C6, hit the knight. I really wonder though what's gonna happen with freestyle chess, because it's not turning out as successful as they thought it would be. And I wonder if it's gonna continue. All right, let's give a check. Let's create a second passer over here. All right, obviously this is GG. Nothing, just a very easy win, obviously. Okay, let's just push. Can simply just get a queen here. Push, push, queen. All right, well, let's just take this as well. Let's stay here. And now the easiest way generally to get a checkmate here. I mean, we already have one queen. We can just get another queen and go for the ladder checkmate. So that, oh wait. All right. Okay, so check and mate. All right, so good game. We get another win. And so here we see our opponent started off with knight f3, followed by g3. But the funny thing is here, even here, we can go for the setup with c5, knight g6, g7, and knight c6. This is perfectly fine. So if you struggle against the Reti or the King's Indian setup, you can still do your Accelerated Dragon. I kid you not. It's a good setup. d3, and okay, we can go d5, but I also really like e5. e5, followed by knight e7. You might be wondering, like, well, we're blocking our bishop, right? But once again, we get a lot of control in the center. We can follow with d5, or just, let's say, d6, and then like h6, bishop b6, maybe f5 in some cases. It goes here. But now, yeah, we take the opportunity to grab the full center with d5. He goes here, h6, aiming to follow up with bishop b6. And I'd say, generally speaking, if we get our development in here, Black is just better. Oh, Andrew Tang. Yeah, you know, Andrew Tang, of course, also really good. Andrew Tang, of course, also really good in Bullet. Yeah, and I know. Okay, I'm sorry. Tang has, of course, also beaten Danya many times in Bullet. I would still maybe rate Danya a little bit higher. I would maybe rate Danya a little bit higher. But Tang definitely, Tang, I think, was the better Hyper Bullet player. He also beat Danya last year in the Hyper Bullet Championship. Was the score on Lichess? I don't know. Will I be playing the World Rapid and Blitz? Honestly, okay, there's some sort of issue, but it should be fine. So I kind of actually do want to play, but now they closed the registration. Anyway, here we're just better if we get all of this development in. Right here, b6, knight b3, just an odd move. He goes here. In general, you just want to continue improving your position with queen c7, rook a8, rook fe8. And black just is definitely better here. d4 is just not a good move. I take. He goes here, bishop f5, and he's simply losing material due to the pin. He goes here, rook e8. I mean, he got some compensation, but it was just never enough. I mean, it's a full exchange. I took bishop back, and now I just take, and now I'm up a piece. Being up a piece generally is better than being up an exchange. It takes. C4 where? C4 where? My Cora. Hello, Eastside. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. And once again, he really should not trade if he's down material. It's obviously going to make it easier for me. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, great question. Let me pull it up. Okay, we get a queen, then we just get a second queen, and it's made. Now, good question. What would I do if he would go c4? If he would go c4 and lock it up, right? Now, I slightly prefer my setup because his knight in f3 is slightly off. My knight in e7 is on a slightly better square than this knight here. What I would do is I would just, let's say, castle, go d6, and maybe try to push for f5 at some point. So, like, let's say he goes here. I would once again go, let's say, h6. And then maybe try to get f5 in. I wouldn't say it's drawish. The position is just closed for the moment, but I wouldn't say it's drawish. But I get what you're saying. I get it. You're worried that the position gets completely clogged. But you still can play for f5 if you want to open up the position. That's the usual pawn break to look for. I'm doing well, thank you. All right, anyway, we get another win. Let's go ahead and get the next game started. All right, so we're playing with black. By the way, how have you guys been enjoying the speedrun? Let me know. He goes e4, so now we're going to be playing c5, the Sicilian. d3, and here, once again, we can just stick to our setup. I think I have d3 covered in the course. Let's go knight c6, bishop b2, and g6, followed by bishop g7. Let's do that here. Okay, c3. Okay, so here we have some options. I could honestly just go the e5 again. I think I kind of like that. I think you're sleazy. Let's go d6 first. Although, yeah, maybe I should have gone e5. Perhaps I should, but I thought, okay, this might come with tempo. He goes a4. You can go knight f6, but I kind of like e5. You might be wondering, like, well, why do you do this? Why do you block your own bishop? But again, we get a lot of control in the center, and maybe we can go d5 later. He goes there. Let's castle. Okay, he goes there. Let's go. Let's once again go d5. Now I regret d6 a little bit, but it's not a big deal because here one tempo does not matter a whole lot. Black is just better. Knight e3, offering the trade of knights. I think I'm going to go knight f4. I think it should be slightly to my advantage to trade my knight for his bishop, even though his bishop is not doing that much. It is a defender of that d3 pawn, which now can get weak. And thank you to Plumberville for the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the speedrun is a nice supplement to the course and that it adds to it even more. Okay, so let's take, I think this should be to my advantage. He's going to recapture. Now this is under attack. I mean, to be fair, after takes here, I was thinking about b6 to stop him from going a5. But the problem is then I think he can take. I take, rook e8. And he can always get out of the pin by going queen f3 with the tempo. So I'm simply going to defend this pawn by going rook to e8. Yeah, my pleasure, DJ Shake Opponent. All right, let's see what he's going to do. But a big shout out to everyone who's watching on TikTok as well. Don't be shy to say hi in the chat. Hello, Sonic. Hello, Musam. Okay, what? What is he doing? By the way, really appreciate all the follows on TikTok as well. Thank you. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so he takes. So let's go ahead and take the knight. It's just a free piece. All right. Nice, nice. Okay, he takes. Well, let's go ahead and take. That's just a free piece. Thank you very much. Hello, Sonic. Welcome. Okay, queen f3. Hitting this, but not too concerned. Go bishop f5. Let's go bishop f5, hit this. I mean, yes, he can take, but then I take. Right, bishop h6, yes. Bishop h6, another mistake. Let's see who's paying attention. Why is this move a blunder? Not bishop takes h2, but you're looking at the right direction of the board. Queen h4, and the bishop is trapped in the corner. Threatening checkmate here on the h2 square. Yeah, no, that's right. Indeed, good job, everyone. All right, let's see what he's going to do, but now we're simply winning. All right, good stuff. We're just winning more material here. Hello, Alicia. Right now I'm in the US. Good question, Caesar. Yeah, well, I mean, I recall, well, the last couple of Bullet Championships, it was Ali Reza crushing it. So that's why I regard him higher. Anyway, let's see what he's going to do. He's just losing more material now. But for everyone watching on TikTok, there's some issue, but not in the next stream, but the stream after that, I should be able to add my camera as well. Okay, nice. Dude, like, I get a, wait, what? Has anyone below I Am ever won Title Tuesday? Hell no. Maybe even like, I don't know if an I Am has won Title Tuesday. I mean, I'm sure that Ming has won, maybe the Terry has won. All right, anyway, we get another nice win. And here we see once again, okay, so let's pull this up. So e4, we go c5, we bring out the horse, we go g6, knight here, bishop g7. And once again, it might seem very odd. You guys might be wondering, like, why on earth would you block your own bishop? Right now, the reason why I didn't go e5 right here is because I thought maybe he can go here, and if I go d6, he might go for a quick d4. Which is why I played d6 first, defending this pawn. I guess, he could have played d4 anyway, but anyway. a4, and now e5. This might look very odd. Or you might think like, why am I blocking my bishop? But I'm grabbing a lot of space. And I'm stopping him from going d4. So it's really all about the center. So he goes here, I develop my knight. He goes here, I get castled. And then eventually we're very happy if we can go d5 as well. Because this structure is generally just considered to be better for black. That's why we see the computer also giving black a minus 0.5 advantage. Because we have the pawns on e5 and c5 giving us more space. And white is the pawn on d3, which frankly is often a little bit weak. Right, this pawn can easily be attacked. It's on a half open file, easily attackable, and it cannot be defended by an adjacent pawn. He goes here, attacking my knight. I go knight f4, because I correctly, according to the engine, evaluated that it's a good idea to trade my knight for the bishop, then I get the bishop pair. And the pawn on d3 is getting even a little bit weaker. So he goes here, I simply trade, go rook e8. I'm defending the pawn, which he decided to take anyway, but I just take and win a piece, and now the game is just over. Bishop f5, I'm up a piece, and here he hangs another one because of queen h4, and it's just GG. Thank you, Grand Chess. Hope you're enjoying the speedrun and the explanations. That goes for everyone. All right, so we get another nice win. We're getting very close to 1350. So let's go ahead and start up another one. All right, we're starting with white. Let's go 1d4. I mean, I guess if I really wanted to make this an Accelerated Dragon speedrun, I could have also played c4. But anyway, he goes d5. Let's go ahead and go c4, put more pressure on his center. On the we play the Queen's Gambit. Now he takes. Now the idea behind the Queen's Gambit is that I want to lure this pawn away. So now I can put a second pawn in the middle. That's really the whole plan. And try to regain the c4 pawn anyway. If we can do that, then we're very happy. He goes e6, but now we just take and we're better. He gives a check. All right, let's block with the knight. He can take, but it's only going to strengthen my center. So let's see what he's going to do. Already, right now, we're having a nice advantage here with white. Knight f6, hitting the pawn, which is slightly awkward to protect. I'm going to get this move queen a4, but he can just block. All right, knight f3, he can take. I might just go bishop d3, which would also set a little trap for him. e5 is a move, by the way, but maybe he jumps in. Hard to judge. Hard to judge. Slightly annoying. I think I'm going to go bishop d3. He's got that. I'm here. I think I'm going to go e5. My pawn was hanging, and at least now we solve it with a tempo, attacking the horse. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he goes knight e4, so he's hitting this. But I'm honestly happy if he takes, because that would reinforce my center. I could defend with queen d3 or a knight e2. But I like knight e2 because now we can simply castle on the next turn, and then we would attack the knight. Okay. He takes, we recapture, reinforcing our center. Knight e2 is slight pity, though. Would really prefer it on here. On f3, queen a4, once again, he's got knight e6 or c6. That does not win a piece. But I've got another really annoying move here. Because very often you have to ask yourself, what is it that my opponent wants to do? Well, if he gets another move, I think he would like the castle. Which is why I'm going to be playing the move bishop a3, stopping him from doing that. Because now his king would cross a covered square. That's an illegal move. So his king is a little bit stuck. His king is a little bit stuck in the dryer, okay? All right, let's see what he's going to do. Once again, big shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. Don't be shy to say hi in the chat. I'll say hi back. Knight c6 played. All right, now let's go ahead and castle. Okay, he goes 97. Good move, good move. Can give a check, but he can just go c6. I can take. Yes, he would be forced to take with the king, but it's not the end of the world. Kind of want to move this knight out of the way and go here, but it would hang this, which is a pity. Maybe bishop d3. I could be really tricky by doing this, but it would force him to give up the right to castle, which is definitely worth something. I mean, I'm like very sure, by the way, that if I do this, he's very likely, very likely gonna do this. So we could maybe just do it, but it's a bit cheesy. People are like, do it! All right. Hmm. Do it. Okay, fine. I'm gonna. Okay, fine. I will play for the cheese, but also because I don't think it's actually bad. Let's give this check. Black has 2 moves here to stay in the game. Okay, he goes knight c6. That's one of them. Okay, I want to move my knight, but it's gonna hang this. Ooh, that is also nasty. He still has here. I can take. I'm gonna go bishop e5 because this pin is really annoying. He's got 1 move, I believe, to stay in the game. Let's see if he finds it. He's got 1 move. I think he will find it because he has to, but even then, by the way, the position is just bad. But yeah, I think c6. I think c6 was a better move here. Anyway, he goes bishop e6. Let's go ahead and take. Oh wait, maybe I should have gone c. All right. Anyway, let's take. Let's go ahead and take. Okay, bishop d7, only move. And let's drop my queen back to the middle of the board. So this was part of the reason also I wanted to take this pawn, because now I get to centralize my queen. Maybe go here. Another nasty plan would be to go here and here, because the g7 pawn would be really annoying to defend. a5 doesn't do anything. Let's go forward with the horse. Knight h5 now is a devastating threat, because this would be very tough to defend. a5, I mean, if your king is under fire, don't be like, oh, I'm going to push up this pawn. That's going to scare him. Okay, rook b8, not a bad move, because now if we go here, he's got queen g5. He's moved his rook. Queen g4, by the way, serious move here. I'm going to go queen g4. Hitting this. Knight h5, unfortunately, there was still this. So I think this is better. g6. And now we're going to slide in with knight e4. This one is going to hurt, as his king would be completely stuck in the dryer. Bishop c6 on the board. All right, well, knight f6, and he's forced to give up his queen. By the way, we might have to cut it short at 1350 for now. All right, so give up his queen. Normally I wouldn't pre-move, but I'm in a little bit of a rush. But at least, you know, 1350 is a decent stop. I mean, usually I like to do it by 100 points, but 50 is not a bad point to end either. All right. Let's see if he's gonna stall or what he's gonna do. By the way, guys, as we might soon end. I saw that somebody gave my course a 1-star review, which is just absolute nonsense. I mean, I understand if maybe if you think that some things could be improved on, but 1 star is just clearly sabotage. I mean, there's just no way around it. So, whoever that is just really disappointing. Because, you know, if you're unhappy with the course, there's also the 30-day money-back guarantee. Exclamation mark courses. I know, right? I mean, Okay, if you're unhappy with it, then just ask your money back. Don't give it 1 star, because that's gonna take the rating down. That's just very rude. Freddy man, good question. Very often the knight comes out f6, but sometimes you go like e6 or e5 and then knight e7. All right, so we get another nice win. All right, and move to 1350. All right, good stuff. Yep, the Accelerated Dragon. Okay, this was just a 1d4 game. So here's the thing. I have my course out right now on the Accelerated Dragon. Maybe at some point I'll also make a 1d4 course, and then the speedrun for 1d4 is already there. And I might also consider a starting out course on the Slav. All right. Anyway. Somebody said I reached 1761 years. That good? Yeah, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, I think for now I'm gonna have to go, unfortunately. But we might be back later. We might be back later. Okay. So don't worry. Let's see. I don't have course on the Boncloud opening. No, I don't teach nonsense openings. But yeah, if you want to check them out, exclamation mark courses in the chat. Check it out, everyone. If you like my course, would really appreciate 5 stars. That is awesome. If you leave a 1-star review, you can go and F yourself. Can't put it any other way. And you're just really, that's just sabotage. Anyway, I gotta get going. Thanks everyone for all the love and support. Appreciate you guys very much. Also, appreciate everyone watching on TikTok. We're live on there as well. So make sure to drop a follow. And yeah, I might be back later. Have a good one, everyone. Peace out. Thank you to Wonder McBlunder for 100 bits. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone for all the love and support on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok. Appreciate all of you guys. And I will see all of you guys in the next one. All right, give me 1 second. All right, have a good one, everyone. See you guys later. Thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate all of you. See you guys in the next stream. But all the speedruns will be uploaded to YouTube, so it's all going to be on there.